G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I am Nat, this is my Knackers Yard that I've not been in all week. What a week it's been. Theoretically a shorter week because of the bank holiday Monday for the Queen's funeral, but fuck me, what a week. I am exhausted. I've had no time at all to play with the bikes, but I think Tango is good to go. I say no time, I have put little Yamaha badges on there. They were from my from the Roadster, actually, Dragstar, sorry, but what they've done is I've used them to cover up the scuff in the paint, and I think they look quite cool. They look like dent protectors or something. I like those, that's cool. The stand, the kickstand, the centre stand, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry, no, more broadly, I'm talking bollocks. I should have thought of this before I started recording. The bike is, I think, good for MOT. I can't do it at the moment because I've got house guests. I've got my folks up, or my mum and my stepdad, and I don't really want to disappear out of the house for hours while they're here. So it's really tinkering with things that I want to do rather than I need to do. And the main thing I want to do is that centre stand. Now it is, a couple of people have said, because it doesn't go high enough. It's not secure enough, it doesn't raise the back wheel off the ground, it sits it on it. And a few people are saying, you know, have you got the right one? I think I have. I've checked out pictures on Tintranet and everything, it looks exactly the same. The bike could have been lowered, raised, lowered, but the dog bones seem fine. I honestly don't know. A couple of people have said, does it have boots on the bottom? No, it doesn't, but it could have. So I've got my steel that I use to learn / practice welding. I've just jammed them underneath. I have taken this off first, hence the springs off, just to check out and have a look at it. I've just tagged it back on, chucked my steel underneath to see how much it comes off, and it gets me there or thereabouts off. I could probably do with doing it a little bit higher, but it's going to start looking a bit clunky, so I'm going to go with what I've got and go for that height. I mean, it is off the ground, but it's also hanging out the back of my garage. You know, it might be a mil or so off, but that's good enough for me. It will be more secure than currently it is on the stand. Actually, one of the feet was slightly bent as well, which was it kept trying to go for a Burton's onto the high side. So let's get that off and see what we got. Right, so that's the stand off. I've drilled a couple of holes in the base so I can basically fill them with a weld. I've given that a clean off, so I think one will do me. Bang it on, cut it out the shape, get it welded on. See if that works, shall we? Right, there we go. No, we're cutting later. And I've got a couple of feet. I'll leave my gloves on because weirdly enough they're bastard hot. Just going to go for basically that. Get them on, then just give them a bit of a blitz down to blend them in a little bit more. Right, I'm going to crack on with some welding. I'm not sure I'm going to show it. Just purely and simply I can't be asked to set up the camera. I haven't got that much time. But we'll see how we go. Right, some classic dodgy nut welding later, and the wheel is just off the ground, just, but actually more importantly that bike is a lot more stable. You know, you can hear that's the tyre on the ground more than anything else, so if anything, you know, a few mil higher would have been good. If I can do that with just, well, I don't know, I think, but let's get that off and we'll have a bit of a sort out. Right, so it's had a bit of a clean up. I'll show you in a sec. I've put a bit of extra weld on that bottom plate just to get it a tiny bit higher. Now I get front wheel, rear wheel clearance. Right, let's get this off and we'll show you what we've got. And what we've got is some ugly welding. My welding is pants, but it's getting better. I mean, that is well and truly fixed and solid. I need to go over it with a flat wheel because at the moment it's just had an abrasion disc on it, but you can see that put a bit of a lip on just to raise it slightly, and it just gets that back wheel off, which is brilliant. Right, I'm going to get tidying. When that's on the bike and up, yeah, I need to whittle that back edge back quite a lot. Right, my paint tent is down and just airing before I put it away. I'm not going to be painting for a little while, I don't think, and it was blocking the light and everything else. Got the pretty much the end result here. I've gone for hammerite or hammerite-like stuff. I don't like using hammerite on bikes. I think hammerite should be treated like lying to your spouse. Only use it when you really have to, and lay it on thick. That's going to take ages to dry, so I'll cut you back in when it's on the bike. But actually, you know, grinder and paint makes me the world or I ain't. I'm quite happy with that. Really quite happy. Yeah, good thick dollop of paint, because fundamentally it's a centre stand, it has hard life, it just sits in the elements permanently. Let's get that back on the bike when it's dry, probably in about 8 hours. Okay, so it is the next day and we're on. Apologies for no Saturday update, but you would have been watching paint dry. Stands on, looks great. I mean, I've had to chuck a little bit of black on it because I scuffed it getting it on. Oh, springs, oh fuck's sake. I tried it on, then put it on the spring, couldn't do that. Tried the spring on, then tried manhandle it on, couldn't do that. Eventually put it on a rear stand and just really manhandled it on with the spring on, and then put the bolts in. But it looks fine. I had a rethink last night as it dried. I didn't like the gloss, it didn't suit the bike at all. So I banged some Halford Special over the top, some satin. It reacted, but I quite like it. I did get a bit of a body reaction, but I think it actually looks more raw irony now, and I like it. But you know, the whole point of the exercise was to get that back wheel off the ground on the centre stand, which it needed to do, and it is, you know, so much more solid for it. I still don't quite get why it didn't in the first place, but hey, there's a little bit of rough welding practice. My welding is getting better, believe it or not. You wouldn't guess it from the bits that you've seen, but you know, it's getting there. It's functional. It's a functional welding. It's about as far as it gets. I'm out here. Oh, 2 seconds. Oh, yep. Bit more cautious with the dog after she had a slight scrap last weekend. She was fine actually. She noticed the dog before I did. What was I saying? The whole point of the exercise, yeah, was to get that more stable, and that now sits like a proper bike, frankly. And how it should have done from the first place. Didn't quite get why it didn't. Slow Sunday, I've got a house guest, so I won't be doing a great deal. I might see if I can just tidy up that dent, and then get, you know, the bits that I no longer need on eBay in the week at some point, including the other frame, which is over there, V5 held, it's Cat N, but you know, it's fine if anybody's after one. If you want any of these bits, then please give me a shout. I have no real need for them anymore. I'm not after making a profit on it, and really, as long as we cover postage, and you know, all yours, feel free. But be quick, because I am going to put them on eBay to get them out of the way. So what next? Next weekend, I don't actually have house guests, which is nice. Well, that doesn't sound right. I love house guests, particularly when they're my family. But next weekend, I want to get this MOT'd because I want to get it on the market. And then what? Then I'm going to drag the shiver back in and have a quick look, and then see what happens with that. Yeah, and I'm quite looking forward to getting back to that. It's been dogging me slightly. I have absolutely freaking loved this, and I'm really looking forward to the MOT ride. You know, all I've done with this is up and down the hill. You know, I really need a decent ride out on it. and to do that I need to be on the way to an MOT and need to be, you know, fully insured, etc, etc, etc. I'm quite looking forward to it actually, because it's a lovely looking and feeling bike. I just want to give it a half decent thrash, see how it reacts. But yeah, bit of a genteel one this weekend. Busy work week, busy social life, not a lot of bike time. But yeah, cool. Thanks very much all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, suggestions at, you know, at price for Tango, you know, give me a shout. I never know what price to put my bikes up at, and I tend to either massively undercut myself or put too much on it and it just sits there. But we'll see. But from that and from Lady, cheers all. Catch you later. Ta-da.